Hi, so for this R and R5 over patriarchy, I just kind of wanted to focus on patriarchy as a problem because of the trends that it has been setting in society and some of the ways that, as an educator and just as a person, I think it would be beneficial to combat that. So, to start, I guess I just wanted to talk about the definition of patriarchy. So, I have it pulled up here that patriarchy is a system of society or government in which the father or eldest male is head of the family and descent is traced through the male line, or a system of society or government in which men hold the power and women are largely excluded from it. So, that definition right there, as something that is still alive in the 21st century, is shocking and terrifying because with all equal rights that's supposed to be in place and just like having equal representation in the workforce, the fact that patriarchy is still a thing and is still practiced or at least held in the subconscious of most members of society. How are women supposed to hold any positions of power? How are women supposed to be seen as heads of households? How are women just supposed to actually hold a place in society when men dominate most of the powerful positions? For example, I think of how men dominate positions such as doctors, CEOs, the president, obviously. And if patriarchy is something that was present in our grandfathers, and it has descended through the male line, then our fathers today, and even the classmates that I have that are male in college, they might not have actually participated in a household that preached patriarchy values, like externally, but internally they might have those values lodged in their subconscious, and that makes it really hard to break the trend and to see women as someone who can have a position of power, who can have a voice, and aren't just subjects of just taking orders and have power stripped away from them. I think of the girl from the article we read where she said she was beaten by her father because she was trying to do something that her brother would do, and how that obviously, that's a very traumatic experience, and for her, that probably shied her away from trying to exercise power or control or just even be herself for a long time until she realized what patriarchy is, and that definition probably didn't come to her until college, and if it did, she was probably scared to really explore it because of the fear that was instilled in her because of that experience. And I just think that where there's still instances like that, maybe not as harshly in a lot of families in America, where it might be something as small as like, well, your brother's going to take charge in this, or your brother's going to watch you because he's stronger. I trust him more. I trust him to move these boxes or help me with this physical task. That it might be something a girl is interested in, but she's shut down because she's a girl. She's not seen as the dominant role taker in that scenario. I just think it's really shocking, and obviously it's a terrible trend that needs to be addressed. And I think that even just like what I did of searching the definition, just defining that term for a lot of people in society and making them realize that it doesn't just mean that like men are dominant and women are submissive, but there's also small little things that might be lodged in your subconscious that are continuing this trend of patriarchy in society. So I guess I just want to finish by addressing some of the things I think that we can do as people who are part of society and as future educators. And I think it kind of goes back to Verna Meyer's video of how you can't just say, like, you're colorblind with her example. You can't just say that you've never experienced patriarchy, that you don't know what it is, that you've never defined it. You need to walk towards evidence that it's happening. You need to admit to yourself that it is a problem. You need to look for definitions, and you need to look for disconfirming data. So, for instance, in terms of patriarchy, you need to seek out the definition and ways it might have affected your life, and seek out ways it might have affected the lives of people around you. This will give you a better understanding of what it is, how it's impacting people still in the 21st century, and ways that you can combat it and have open conversations about it. Because really, conversations and communication are one of the main ways to combat an issue, in my opinion. And then after that, I think just looking for disconfirming data and enforcing disconfirming data. So giving women the benefit of the doubt in powerful positions, and looking for women who want to hold powerful positions and giving them a chance. Don't just discredit them because they're a woman and because you think they might not be able to hold a place in power. For example, with Hillary Clinton as the presidential candidate, there was a lot of talk about how she was a woman, she might not be able to make harsh decisions, she might not be able to do some of the things that like male presidents could do, she might not be powerful, she might let her emotions get in the way. Instead of thinking of stuff like that, look at how she is a powerful woman. Look at the history that she's had in politics. Look at the power and presence she already has in her career field and give her credit. Don't look at what might happen because she's a woman, because then you're discrediting everything that she's already done. So that's just one example of looking for disconfirming data and giving them a place, giving them a presence, and letting them have or potentially hold a position of power, and don't just immediately discredit them because they're women. And I think that if we can start doing this, if we can start seeing women as people who can also hold powerful and dominant positions in society, then we'll be able to kind of shift from the patriarchy's perspective and actually provide women equal opportunities of power. And obviously patriarchy is very focused on male dominance and women being stripped from power, but I also think it's important to note that in some cases it can be reversed, and women can be seen as the dominant, powerful one, and men maybe more as the ones power stripped away in some rare cases. And I think in those cases the same rules apply, and in the end our goal should just be that everyone has equal opportunity to powerful positions. Everyone is seen as an equal contributor. They are seen as having equal potential no matter what the positions are. For example, I know we talked in class about how sometimes males are seen as bad candidates for elementary teacher positions because men aren't caring, men aren't nurturing, they're very powerful, they're very harsh, they might not be who we want around our kids. And I think in terms of women being powerful, that's the same thing that goes for men there, where we need to be able to say, all right, yes, this might not be seen as typical traits of men based on past research and everything, but it's important to give men role models in nurturing positions, as well as it's important to give women role models who are like powerful and CEOs. So I definitely see how it goes both ways, and how we need to open the doors for giving women powerful positions and men nurturing positions, and just keep an open mind on how everyone deserves equal opportunity no matter what they're pursuing, and we shouldn't let gender norms or just like stereotypes from the past influence how we're distributing the power in society today. Thank you.